It's a Friday night here in Orlando, Florida, under the lights. A marquee matchup between the ACC and the Big 12. It's the Duke Blue Devils, ranked 19th in the country, coming to town in Orlando to take on the host, the UCF Knights, in a battle of two of the 25 winningest programs this decade. And we welcome you to the broadcast booth. Eric Lopez alongside two-time All-American Alex Powers. And Alex, when people look at marquee games, they circled this one. And there's a buzz at the complex here tonight.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, people are showing up for this game. A lot of excitement around two really good teams. UCF came out yesterday, opening day. Their bats were elite, and then Duke is known for some really good pitching in the circle. So I'm excited to see how the two match up.
Let's take a look. Of course, it's been a wild day here at the Black and Gold Classic. Boston beat Maryland 3-0 on a one-hit shutout by Casey Ricard. Maryland scores 8 in the 7th in a come-from-behind win over Buffalo. And then Boston upsetting Duke 2-1. Buffalo did get their first win of the year, 8-6, in a wild one against Cal State Bakersfield. The Knights, Alex, got the bats going on their opener in a doubleheader sweep, run rule wins.
A historic opening day for UCF. So many runs scored, so many balls leaving the park. Kendall Yarnell had the grand slam in game 1. Sierra Humphreys had a home run. Izzy Mertez showing us some power. Several Knights showcasing what they've been working so hard on this offseason.
Should be a dandy. It's one of the premier pitching matchups in the country. It'll take place here tonight between the Knights and the Blue Devils. We'll have starting lineups, first pitch, when we return from Orlando here on ESPN+. Hitting cleanup with KK Mathis in right field hitting 5th. Kyrie Rodriguez catching hitting 6th. Jayla Stafford at first base hitting 7th. Jada Baker at third base hitting 8th. And Amia Burgess hitting left for the Blue Devils. Playing their second game of the day, second game of the season. And they will be facing the redshirt sophomore, the freshman All-American from a year ago, Isabella Vega, getting the ball for the Knights, making her 2026 debut. And
arguably the ace for UCF right now. Coach Bear has challenged all the other pitchers on staff, saying, I want you to take the ball from Vega because she just looks that good this offseason, has really put in the work. Excited to see her come out tonight and really try to command the zone. She's going to work a lot north and south, good off speed as well. Let's see the swing and miss rate, Eric, and see if the Blue Devils can catch up.
Vega went 14-7 with a 1.70 ERA. Was a top 10 freshman of the year finalist from the NFCA. Was a D1 freshman, first team All-American. Playing behind her defensively, you see Ashley Griffin there, the senior at first base. Sierra Humphreys at second base. Aubrey Evans at short with Coco Jaimes at third base. You got Samantha Ray at left field. How about Ayala Durant, the true freshman, starting at center field? With Zoe Calvis at right field. And Beth Damon catching here for the Knights. Glad you could join us tonight. It is filling up here at the complex, even in the outfield as well as in the stands. What should be one of the premier matchups in college softball tonight. Both teams going with their aces. Isabella Vega against Cassidy Kerr. What are you looking forward to here as we're moments away?
Well, we've seen some good pitchers duels so far this weekend. A lot of good softball, also a lot of questionable softball. We've seen a ton of errors on batted balls, and so these defenses on both sides needing to take care of the softball, but the pitching in the circle has been legit. Earlier, Duke did get quote-unquote upset by a Boston team, but led by a really good pitcher in Casey Ricard. So no surprise there, Eric, because she is one of the best in the country, but we'll see how the Blue Devils respond to a little adversity early in the season.
Yeah, that was a few hours ago. Casey Ricard with the win there. Knights, of course, coming off the 2-run rule wins. Glad you joined us. Your umpires for this game: Robert Gonzalez at first, Dustin Douglas at first base, Brent Harton at third. Gonzalez home plate, first pitch is a ball. We're underway on a 55-degree clear night here in Orlando. 1-0 the count to Jennings, All-American talent player, ace All-ACC, the captain of this Blue Devils team in his senior year, helped Duke get to the College World Series a couple of years ago, as well as win the ACC championship. Part of this historic senior class for the Blue Devils. Hits a ground ball to second. Humphreys underhands to first for the first out of the ball game. So Jennings retired. There's Humphreys, who, if you're just joining us this year, of course, did play third base last year, moving over to second base here in the early going this year with, of course, you got Coco Jaimes going from second to third.
And one of the things that Coach Ball Malone has talked so much about this offseason is the versatility and athleticism of her team. She's so proud of how hard they've worked, but also said that making the lineup every single day is going to be a big task.
Amina Vega lays it to left, but there's Samantha Ray with the catch. And the two-time All-American Vega's retired on one pitch, 2 gone here in the first inning. So just like that, Gabriella Shattuck will come to the plate. One thing I've noticed here, you got Durant, Ray here in this outfield. A lot of speed in the outfield for the Knights, with Zoe Calvez at right field. Here's a little nubbler. Damon will barehand throw to first in time. And a 1-2-3 inning for Isabella Vega and the Knights as they retire the Blue Devils in order. Knights will come to the plate. They will face the Blue Devils ace, Cassidy Curd. Will get to pitch when we come back. Leading off followed by Aubrey Evans. Izzy Mertez in the DH tonight. Ashley Griffin, cleanup hitter. Sierra Humphreys batting fifth. Ayala Durant, the freshman, getting her first start with Beth Damon, Samantha Ray, and Zoe Calvis rounding out this Knights lineup. And they'll get to face the senior Cassidy Curd, a homecoming of sorts from Port St. Lucie, Florida.
And Curd, no surprise, she's getting the ball. Somebody that has been so good throughout her career, but has battled a bit of injury too throughout her time, and nothing in particular, something she'll probably have with her for forever, unfortunately, but she's done a great job on figuring out the management of that and the stress load that she's had to carry. Somebody too that leverages the north part of the zone, so tends to get underneath the rise balls, worked really hard in developing an off speed. Let's see what she's got here in opening night.
She's down in the count here to Coco Jaimes, 2-0 the count. Here in the bottom of the first, Jaimes leading off this year. Had a good day yesterday, as many of the Knight hitters did. And that's a strike, 2-1. What's the key if you're UCF here against Curd?
Staying disciplined. You've got to get something over the zone that you can handle, and Curd has a lot of success when hitters chase outside the zone against her, allowing her to open it up and expand it.
It's inside, ball 3. 3-1 the count to Coco Jaimes, the sophomore. First, Cassidy Curd was a D1 softball co-MVP of the Mary Nutter tournament last year. How valuable she is. Helped them get to the World Series. All ACC performer, certainly an ACC Pitcher of the Year candidate when she's locked in, when she's clicking and healthy. In her debut here in 2026. Full count here against Jaimes. Got her, she went upstairs and Jaimes chased it. And Curd opens the first with a strikeout.
And that's the Cassidy Curd specialty right there, up and out of the zone. What would have been ball 4, but getting a really aggressive Coco Jaimes, and she knows it immediately. Kind of wishing she held the bat back, but nonetheless, you just got to keep learning, take the information, pass it along to your teammates. I think the other thing too is Curd's got really good velo, so she throws pretty hard, and so recognizing the balls and the strikes and the upward trajectory that these pitches have is tough to do in such a quick amount of time. And I think she tunnels it pretty effectively too.
Aubrey Evans at the plate, takes a strike. It's 1-1.
So Curd finds a lot of success out of the zone, but it's also this pitch too that she can just kind of sneak in there every once in a while, and it makes you question, man, I should have taken a hack there. It's something over the middle.
It's outside, 2-1. You saw briefly moments ago the Duke defense. Of course, Amina Vega, the best second baseman in the country. Gold Glove Award winner at second. Was part of this strong Duke defense.
I love it. I like how you didn't even say it in a questionable facet too. It was just, it was a fact.
The ball, 3-1. The credential speaks for itself, as they say, right?
I agree. Sometimes you got to appease the masses and say arguably one of the best, but no, I mean, she's really good.
Mike? arguably be the greatest Blue Devil ever by the time
okay.
right?
I'm here for it.
3-1 pitch is outside, a hit foul down the right side. I don't want to say definitely the best player ever, because there's been a lot of good players, great players under this program, under Marissa Young, the Duke head coach in her 8th season. Duke with the 6th winningest program this decade. UCF is 21st. Both of these teams, by the way, 2 of the 25 teams with current 5 straight NCAA tournament appearances. With 2 of the best head coaches, there's Sydney Ball Malone. In her 8th season, UCF got them to that super regional in 2022. They won a regional here in 2022. Payoff pitch from Kurt. And Aubrey fouls it out, back. Count is 3-2.
I do like how aggressive the UCF hitters are being. Only the first couple batters here, but really challenging Kurt to work deep into counts. They are able to foul off pitches that are up in the zone, so they're trying to work down through it. It's a matter of just making those adjustments throughout the game. So they're off to a good start.
Time called. Saw Marissa Young, of course, built this program from scratch. She was hired July 29th, 2015. There wasn't a stadium, there wasn't an office. Built it from scratch and has turned it into a power here in college softball in a short period of time. And that's outside ball 4, and Aubrey Evans draws a 1-out walk. Aubrey coming into the season with a 400 career on base. That's 8th best in UCF softball history. And her eye there gets her a walk. There's 1 out. That'll bring up Izzy Mertez, who hit a 3-run homer in the win over Bakersfield last night. Hitting in the DH spot here tonight after playing the outfield, but I think Coach Paul Malone wants to. You're going to see different mixes of lineups, and I think you got a defensive outfield there that's got a lot of range and speed. But you're still going to certainly see Mertez's bat. Hitting here with 1 on, 1 out. There's a strike, 0-1. Is it me or the intensity, the everything just went up a level here in this complex over the last 30, 40 minutes?
I think Eric's caffeine has officially hit. It's just the adrenaline rush. It's playing under the lights. It's a beautiful night. The weather warmed up a little bit for us today. We got a full fan base out here in the stands. Feeling good. This is what you're used to, Elo.
Yes, more like it. I mean, we could warm it up a little bit more, but nonetheless, good weather.
We wouldn't complain.
0-2 the count. Mertez takes high, ball 1. 1-2 the count to Izzy Mertez. What stood out to you about UCF's offense yesterday?
The confidence, the looseness, and they just look comfortable out there competing. And this was a UCF team that always has had so much potential, but the actual execution yesterday was most impressive.
Mertez hits it to right, slicing foul.
And you start having conversations of intensity and mindfulness in their at-bats. And even the last couple of at-bats, again, just to get this game started, Cassidy Kurd lives up in the zone, and she's a big swing and miss type of pitcher. And the fact that UCF is attacking and fouling as many pitches off as they are already tells me they're off to a good start, and the scouting and the game plan is working so far. Now it's just about putting them in play.
Mertez takes 2-2.
And that's one of the next level, I feel like, concepts you start to learn. You know, you come into college and you're so green, you just don't really have a clue, right, what you're getting into yet. But it's those kind of conversations of swing and miss versus batted balls, foul balls.
Mertez hits 1 to center. Jennings quickly coming in, makes the catch. Any ball hit to center tonight against Jennings, it's an automatic out on, right? Like about 100%.
Definitely 99.9. Is anything ever 100%, Eric? I don't know.
If there's such a thing, it would come from Jennings.
Yeah, she covers a lot of ground out there. And Coach Young just talked about her leadership, how her teammates have really leaned on her and becoming a team captain, a unanimous decision. Everything that she provides. Just kind of that rawness of, I am who I am, but I'm going to be the best for you guys. And she really plays like that as well, just goes all out all the time.
Ashley Griffin at the plate, one of the captains of the Knights. Ahead of the count 1-0, fouls it back, and the count is 1-1. Got the Duke cornerstone there with Jennings and Vega. Both Gold Glove caliber players. Of course, Vega's won a Gold Glove at second base. The 1-1. Griffin takes high. 2 balls and a strike. Ashley Griffin, the last remaining player, active player, that was part of that UCF historic 2022 team that hosted the regional here. Won the regional, got to the Supers. Winning 49 games. 2-1 pitch. This there, and it's 3-1. This is Griffin's last year. Of course, she sat out 2023 with an injury, redshirted. That's how she's still playing. It really feels that this team has a lot of similarities and things in common with that 22 team. Similar feelings about them. As Griffin takes ball 4 and a walk. And the Knights now have 2 on, 2 out here in the first. As Griffin draws the walk, there's that pennant from that historical 2022 year, which really took this program to a different level. Why you have packed houses like tonight's been become a constant there at the complex over the last handful of years. Meanwhile, the Knights offense here making Cassidy Curd work early. I like it. Selectively aggressive here. They're not challenging her as much out of the zone, and if they are getting a good piece of it, fouling it off. Right now, just trying to slow the game down a little bit. She's such a competitor out there, the grittiness. She wants the ball all the time. So much of it is about managing the pain and preparation and everything she's gone through. And not only that, then you throw in the adrenaline, Eric, and how hyped you get for games like this. Carissa Young, who handles the pitching staff, talking to her senior Cassidy Curd. She'll face Sierra Humphreys, who had a great day yesterday. Hit a solo home run in the Bakersfield win. That was her 100th career hit in her young college career. Now she's talking to Ashley Griffin here at a big spot. And with 2 on, 2 out here in the bottom of the first. This heavyweight battle between the Knights and the Blue Devils. Aubrey Evans at second. Ashley Griffin at first. They both have reached via the walk. So now Humphrey, the junior, out of Corona, California, all Big 12 second team performer a year ago, steps in against Cassidy Curd. First pitch in the dirt. Oh, nice block right there by their catcher, Kyrie Rodriguez. That's a big play there. If that gets away from her, you know the Knights are going to be sending the runners there trying to get in the score position. That's one of the things that they've worked really hard at too, is not only becoming faster, also getting some speed in the portal. Humphreys drills one into left center field, and it'll drop in, 1 up off the wall. Evans is going to come around to score. Coming in to score is Griffin. It's a 2 RBI double by Sierra Humphreys. And the Knights get off to a fast start and take an early 2-0 lead. Great piece of hitting here. A little ahead in the count. Sierra Humphreys gonna take something elevated in the zone, but left a little too far over the wide of the plate, driving it to the big part of the park. Left center gap there, extra bases, a couple of runs coming in to score. And she crushed that one, Eric, and that's what I like, the aggressiveness from these UCF hitters. They just look like a whole new team. Sierra Humphreys, who is second in all-time in UCF in batting average, 346. Fourth in on base, 416. Coming in, is off to a stellar start. And it's given the Knights an early 2-0 lead. And you and I are the biggest fans of Sierra Humphreys. We both feel she's underrated. I don't know how much longer we'll be able to say that if she keeps hitting that way. I know, right? She's just starting to stand out like a sore thumb when you put up big numbers. Now Ayala Durant, the young true freshman who came into both games yesterday. Part of this incredible freshman class that Coach Ball Malone has brought in, another top 25, top 30 level recruiting class by all the people that follow the recruiting stuff. But Durant's kind of the sleeper there. People was telling me she's a sleeper in this outfield. She definitely can swing the bat, play good defense. She swings and misses here and gets an opportunity. How about her first start coming here against Duke primetime on a Friday night?
I'd venture to say it's well-deserved, and Coach Bob Malone doesn't make those decisions lightly, so I'm sure that's something that was earned quite a bit of time ago.
Humphries at second base, the 1-1, a swing and a miss by Durant. The count is 1-2. Of course, yesterday in the doubleheader, you saw the 4 true freshman pitchers for UCF. Ava Stewie getting the win against Boston. Reagan Vacoon closed that game out. Tori Payne and Hildy Dempsey split the game in a win against Bakersfield. Durant fouls it off. Count is 1-2. Here against Cassidy Curd, who's already in the mid-30s pitches here in this first inning, Alex.
That's because she's getting deep in counts, and she's faced a few batters, sure, but she's working into a lot of full counts. Just a sign of how well UCF is seeing the pitches, how much they're challenging her and discipline they're being in the box. Plate discipline is a hard skill to learn, and if you're Coach Bob Malone, you're probably, again, you can't get too excited too early here. You can still have a whole ball game to play, but just a sigh of relief. Finally, things are starting to come together.
Swing and a miss as Durant swings and misses, and Curd on the 34th pitch of the inning gets the strikeout to end the inning. But Sierra Humphries with a 2 RBI double, giving the Knights the early lead.
Sierra Humphries setting the tone in the very first inning. A big swing right there, bringing in 2 runs, both walks to Eric. They always come around to Hanja. A big swing by Humphries.
And for more on KK Matthews, let's bring up our third member of our team, Cecily Webb. Cecily?
Yeah, KK has an older brother named Brock who had a successful college baseball career himself. He's 6 years older than her, but when she was about 8 years old, he took her out into the backyard and told her to stand there, and he threw the ball as hard as he could and told her to catch it. And now she told me when people ask me how I got into the game, I tell them my brother walked so I could run. She said she grew up going to as many games as she could, but it's a very full circle thing for her. He's married, has a 7-month-old now, so she's in her new on era, and she is so excited that they will be able to watch her and get to enjoy that. And they're actually coming to the game on Sunday, so you guys will be able to see them.
That'll be great. Thank you, Cecily.
Maybe she can get her payback now. I feel like she was almost bullied into the sport, but hey, some of the best things start that way. Totally kidding. Brotherly, sisterly love.
Tyrena Jones here leading it off for Duke. Takes a ball, 1-2 the count. She had a foul ball, by the way, that hit literally the top of our press box. It would not have be a threat to come in, but it was the closest one that I can remember since you've been doing games here that normally would have gone toward your side.
I agree.
1-2, did she go around? They say no, says first base umpire Dustin Douglas. Brent Harden at third, Robert Gonzalez at home plate. In fact, that ball nearly hit this. There was a speaker that's normally used to be out here on the press box by a window. That would have hit it, smashed it if it was still existent there, but they moved it. Jones, the transfer from Purdue, pops it up foul. That's into the stands. Nice catch by a fan on a one-hop there. It's a lively crowd on a Friday night.
Even some of the fans have some good hands. They've learned a thing or two coming to the games. Looks like we might even have some mini players out there.
2 balls, 2 strikes to count to Jones. He pops it up foul territory as Jaimez makes the catch. And Jones fouls out for the first out here in the top of the second. Here's Coco. First out here now to bring up the aforementioned KK Mathis, senior out of Westchester, Ohio. Here against Isabella Vega. First pitch up high, ball 1, which no doubt had the greatest freshman season that any UCF pitcher has ever had here, and that's saying something, considering they have 3 pitchers in the UCF Athletics Hall of Fame. Allison Kime, Mackenzie Audis, Shelby Turnier, but Vega had a better freshman year than all 3 of them. Now, Kime never pitched here as a freshman. She came as a transfer. Played in a junior college. And certainly, of course, the redshirt really helped Isabella Vega. Imagine being a true freshman. You're sending batting practice pitches to Jada Cody, Shannon Doherty, Chloe Evans. You're going to learn a lot. There's a ground ball to Aubrey Evans. Evans throws the first in time to get KK Mathis for the out, 2 gone. But Vega said that helped her a lot, seeing and watching it.
Of course it does. You're facing elite hitters, and they really challenge you and force you to learn outside of yourself and develop other skills that maybe you used to be able to get away with. But that's the best part about competing with people that are that much better than you. That's what everybody should strive for, and look what it's done in return.
Kyrie Rodriguez now at the plate. Takes a strike, 0-1 the count. Vega, of course, started her Knights career with a shutout against Cal State Bakersfield last year on this weekend. Who will ever forget that apparent pitching relief against Missouri, where UCF got down early big. She came in and shut the door, kept them in it. UCF came all the way back to win that game in extra innings. That was a big turning point for her. She really would go on, and as the year went on, just continued her excellent pitching. As the 1-1 is in the dirt, 2-1. Of course, maybe the one that got her to the national attention was when she shut out the Florida Gators here in a sold-out complex. But she's excited, she's ready, much more vocal, which was something she was not coming in last year. She'd be the first to admit, but
and that's part of the maturing process. Is you're not trying to change who you are, you're just trying to elevate certain aspects, right? And just because you're not the most vocal doesn't mean you have to become the loudest on the field, but maybe you just kind of come into your own and you do have more of a voice. But I feel like that's so much of navigating who we become as players, as women, through the sport.
2-1. Popped up foul, 2-2 the count. Of course, helped them get to that regional final in Austin in 2020 last year. First time the Knights had made a regional final since 2022. As the 2-2 pitch, popped up foul off the net. But it'll be interesting to see how she handles. Obviously, more people know about her now. Entering her 2nd year.
That's why you work so hard in the offseason to keep developing or even hone in on the skills. Just because people know what you have, they still got to go up in the box and hit it, right? So how much command can I have of my pitches? How quickly can I change the speeds that I'm offering and go pitch to pitch? Becomes the mind game at that point.
Grew up idolizing Kat Osterman. As that ball is hit to left center field, Durant takes it a look, but that's gone. See ya. Solo home run. Kyrie Rodriguez gets the Blue Devils on the board with a solo home run. And it's a 2-1 ball game.
Kyrie Rodriguez wastes no time, takes that pitch, not a bad pitch, but definitely one that she can hammer. I mean, just off the bat, Eric, I knew that was a no-doubter, just the power, the strength of Rodriguez. Somebody that has been coined a good leader, too, behind the dish. So much that she can offer to her teammates, but getting the Blue Devils back in this ballgame with just one swing.
Solo homer for the redshirt junior from West Palm Beach, Florida, Kyrie Rodriguez. A lot of Floridians on this Duke roster. That's why you're going to see some Duke fans here as well tonight.
A lot of local kids.
Yeah.
Almost, actually, maybe more than UCF.
Ooh.
I'd have to do the math, but
I would do it, but you know, we're 5 games in.
Yeah. We'll come back to that tomorrow.
Coach Ball Malone now having to work with her ace Vega. Try to settle her in there. 2-1 ball game. Trying to make sure here, Vega, of course, early in the season. These two teams have a fairly explosive offenses, which really makes, you got to tip your cap to Casey Ricard. I know people are going to react to that Boston score, but that's a credit to Boston and Casey Ricard, who I think is, again, one of the best pitchers in the country, mid-major or not. Oh,
absolutely. Can you imagine some of the damage she would be if she was at a power 4 school and just competing against some of the best hitters, but also the defenses and stuff she would have behind her.
Swing and a miss there to count as 0-1 to Jayla Stafford. She's been on a legendary career already at BU, trying to make another NCAA tournament bid. And boy, that's a big win for them from a resume standpoint, and that young group behind Ricardo. There's a swing and a miss, and Vega, almost like she was mad and she gave up the home run, just took it out on Stafford with the strikeout. But Kyrie Rodriguez getting Duke on the board.
I love this swing by Rodriguez. Just wastes no time, an absolute no doubter off the bat, showcasing some power. It's been the power game so far tonight, Eric. Let's see it continue.
This is tonight's the last game of day 2. Day 3 tomorrow, Saturday, will be right up before you know it. Buffalo and Boston at 9 a.m. Buffalo and Duke at 11:30. Cal State Bakersfield and Maryland at 2 o'clock. Duke and Cal State Bakersfield. And then Maryland and UCF tomorrow night on a Saturday night here to cap off day 3 of the UCF Black and Gold Classic. Beth Damon leading off, drills one into left field for a base hit. Damon rounding first, going for 2. The throw is not in time. It's a leadoff double for the sophomore Beth Damon here in the bottom of the second for the Knights.
I love this response by the UCF hitters. Beth Damon here wasting no time, just tattooing this ball. And the outfield was playing a little bit in the shift there too, towards the gaps. You love to see her taking advantage of that, but that's the kind of response I'm talking about when you have Kyrie Rodriguez, who hit the no-doubter in the last inning. The response from Damon saying, nope, don't get too excited yet, we're still here.
Coach Paul Malone's gonna go to the bench here, pinch run for Damon. If you're new to softball, you can re-enter once. Come out and re-enter once in the game, so Damon will certainly return here. They want to go with a more quicker runner. Malaya Warren, the young freshman, will pinch run. But to your point, Duke was playing the shift there with Burgess playing more towards right center or left center field, daring them to hit it to left field. And because I guess the tendencies from last year was Damon would hit it to center a lot. And right, that's a new year, Beth Damon says.
New year, new Beth. Same Beth, just improved Beth. How about that?
Much more confident Beth Damon. Samantha Ray at the plate. Here's taking another look.
And you see just how she's able to utilize that power, getting behind and around that pitch, showing us what she can do.
Samantha Ray tries the bunt. It hits her foot. And she's off. And they're going to have Warren go back to second on the call here. Let's take a look here. Was this an out or a foul ball?
You see there, I think the question too is she in the box?
Yes.
When she's making contact, you see a lot of the time with the slap hitters, that left foot has a tendency to come over the plate or over the line, if not necessarily all the way on the plate.
Now the umpires were discussing it. Here's another angle.
You see that left foot, it does look like it's going to come right over top of the line. Now it's a question of whether or not it can be completely on the line like that is one part of it, and then 2, whether or not the ball hits her, if she's still in the box or is she out of the box at that point too. So
they're going to review it here.
this is the view that the umpires are able to get, but also the question is, what question was asked? That's my question, is was it the foot out of the box or was it the ball making contact with Ray out of the box? Because again, you can't necessarily ask both questions and they could lead you to very different answers.
Yeah, we learned that yesterday the hard way against Boston, where we thought they were Boston was challenging Coco Jaimes for leaving too early. Turns out they were challenging Aubrey Evans for hitter interference, which was the correct call.
Absolutely.
So yes, we've learned our lesson out of this. It could be multiple things here they're looking at. Hopefully the microphone, the umpires this year all have mics, should be able to explain and announce the decisions. It's a quick review. We'll see if the microphone is working or not momentarily and what the call is. Oh, it's an overturn and a foul ball is the call. Not out of the box and didn't hit her, so it's a foul ball. So I don't know if Coach Ball Malone was officially challenged that. Either it doesn't matter if she did, she wins it, she gets her challenge back, or if she talked him into umpire, but that she wins the challenge, which is new this year, by the way. If a coach can challenge a call, and if they win it, they get to keep it, keep it back. How about that? What'd you think of that?
I think it's fair. I mean, I don't think it was conclusive enough to be able to say that it did hit her, and so I think they went with a safe call. Because you got to think, I mean, as a hitter, it's changing the rest of my outcome in regard to you're possibly taking the bat out of my hands.
Well, it's kind of a moot point because Ray strikes out looking, so it's pretty much similar result.
And it happens.
So that's an out on the strikeout of Ray. Warren still at second with one out. Zoe Calvis at the plate. Swings and misses for Calvis, the transfer out of LSU. Stepping in here in the number 9 spot, sophomore of West Orange High School. Was a number 9 recruit nationally coming out of West Orange High School. Played basketball and softball. Was a standout. That's a strike, and Curd right now more settled in than she was in the first inning. Ahead 0-2 here on Calvis. Damon started the inning with a double. Warren pinch running for it second. Calvis slaps it to third, and it's a caught. And the catch is made for the second out of the inning. Nice play by Jada Baker.
And Jada Baker is so good on the hot corner. She saw a lot of time last year at first base too, a definite utility, and has played multiple roles. She's even played shortstop some for the Blue Devils. So lots of options with her. Good graduate too, senior leadership that she has in her 5th year. Good stuff.
So 2 outs, runner at second for Coco Jaimes as we go back to the top of the order. But that's going to frustrate Coach Ball Malone. That's something that they've worked on, is trying to be quality at bats, advancing the runners. But Ray and Calvis couldn't do it. So now it's up to Jaimes, who took a big swing there with a count of 1-1.
Well, not ideal for Calvis, but she did hit the ball hard, and I think that's a good takeaway. What you have to look at is the at-bat before Samantha Ray with a strikeout. You got to put the ball in play when you get a leadoff double. You got to get people in motion.
Trying to bunt there. Perhaps try to surprise him, draw him in. They fouled it off, and it's 1-2 now to Coco Jaimes. Cassidy Curd on the 1-2. Up high, 2-2. And is the sophomore from California. It's Curd on the 2-2, and Jaimes delivers, base hit into left center field. Ball Malone's gonna send Warren. The throw home is in time. She's out. What a throw. But Blue Devil defense makes the perfect throw to get Warren out on a perfect throw by guess who? Miss Jennings. And with that throw, possibly will send us to the third. They are watching this play. There's a call on the field reviewing that last play, Alex, to see if Warren, who's called out at home plate on the throw by Jennings. Take a look here. Is she safe or out?
I mean, it's so close. I want to see almost if there were, I guess in a perfect world, a shot. Oh, that's a good one right there. Okay.
Does the foot get in there before the tag?
Well, the question too is the foot on the ground, or is it kind of in the air? Is the tag right there placed on the shin, or does it miss the shin? I mean, man, it happened so fast. I really do think the call could go either way. Here's the thing. I think that the call on the field is so important because maybe
that angle, if they go with that angle, she might have gotten the foot in.
One, because it looks like she went to tag the right knee that's tucked underneath. However, in the other angle, it looks like she tries to make the tag.
But that angle,
that left lead leg.
It's got to be conclusive. Keep that in mind. Big call coming here. It's either an overturn and a run score, or the call stands and the inning is over. Robert Gonzalez with the microphone. We'll have to say here. And the call stands. UCF loses that challenge. It's a bang-bang play. I agree with you, Alex. I think if that was called the other way, they would have stayed with it. I think it was not conclusive enough to change it. So, hey, hope you enjoyed the last break. We got another quick one for you. We are going to the third now, officially, with UCF up 2-1. Here is the new adjustments to the video review rules, Alex, via the NCAA new rulebook.
Well, and anytime a coach wants to challenge a call in the field, they can do so. And if they win the challenge, they get that challenge back because they are limited to 2 up until the latter part of the ball game. Then umpires can bring challenges upon themselves. But how cool. If you win it, you get it back, which I feel like it is pretty warranted, too, because it's not my fault you messed up the call.
Well, what's wild is Coach Ball Malone won that review, I think, on the Ray ball that was hit.
Right.
But then loses it on the home plate. But I don't blame her for challenging that. It's a big play at home plate. But credit, by the way, to Deanna Jennings. Perfect throw to gun down Warren at home plate. And a good tag by Kyrie Rodriguez.
Couldn't be more on the money, but that's one of the things she's so good at out there is Jennings, the powerful arm.
Now Jada Baker gets on base on a hit by pitch to open the third. And she just stood there and let it go one hop off her foot.
Got to get base runners somehow.
Used to be you would have to make an effort to get away from the ball, but not as much anymore.
Not as much. Not when it's over in the batter's box.
Yeah.
You can stay put.
Yeah. So runner at first. Taylor White here coming out to talk to Coach Young, or maybe exchanging some notes here. There's Coach White, former North Carolina Tar Heel, associate head coach. I think you and I agree, one of the best assistants and associate head coach, really the right-hand person here for Marissa Young. Is a name that constantly comes up anytime job openings, especially in that Carolina region.
You're absolutely right. She put in a lot of time over at UNC as a player, earned a lot of respect. She served some time at East Carolina as an associate head coach and did a really good job there, and then got a job opportunity at Duke with Coach Young and was quickly promoted to associate head. She's somebody I got to play against as a player and just a student of the game. Took so much pride out there on defense. She helps manage the Blue Devil defense now. She was a great defender herself and also helps lead the hitting. And just a quality person, too. You got to point that out always.
0-1 the count to Burgess. It's their ball one. 1-1 the count. So Baker at first on a hit by pitch with Burgess, the number 9 hitter, here at the plate. And then you get to the top of the order of this Blue Devils offense against Isabella Vega. 1-1. It's a bunt attempt foul. 1-2.
Amaya Burgess in the 9-hole. A bit crafty down there. Knows how to find her way on base as well. She can short game. She can swing it.
One-two pitch. Foul back. Count remains 1-2. Isabella Vega, her 2026 debut. Ahead of the count here, 1-2 on Burgess. The slow grounder to second. Humphreys boots it, flips to first, not in time. That'll be an error on Humphreys as Burgess reaches on, and now a hit by pitch and an error, and the Blue Devils have 2 on, nobody out here in the third.
Tough play. Defense has been the name of the game. That one definitely having some life to it. A little bit walky there when you hit it off the end of the bat like that. You get some funky spin, but got to stay with it and work through the ball. But tough one, too, and it's a little bit of a slow roller. You don't have a lot of time, and you got speed down the line.
Now the umpires are going to review something here. Coach Paul Malone gave him said something to them, and The umpires got together and talked about it. And now they're going to take a look while Coach Ball Malone comes into the circle to talk to her team to kind of regroup here a little bit. I'm wondering if they're looking at whether there was some interference with Humphries, or could it be the double base, or could she be out at first? Let's see. Oh, now is the ball in the glove before Burgess touches the base, and here's where the double base comes into play here, Alex.
Really good look there, too, because you just get a bit of a better angle as well with the extended base, obviously coming into play this year for safety purposes. But the heads-up question, too, Coach Ball Malone is always going to ask. I think that's the thing about Bear, is it's always worth the question, right? If I lose a challenge, I lose a challenge, but...
To me, the thing that jumps out there, Dustin Douglas kind of had safe there, maybe a little premature. We'll see. The review is over, so either it's going to be a runner at second and an out, or 2 on, nobody out. That was an early safe call. Perhaps anticipated. And Coach Ball Malone wins the challenge. It's an overturn.
Okay,
Burgess is out.
Eric, we got to do the math. So she used a challenge, won it with Samantha Ray, used a challenge, lost it earlier. Now she uses another challenge, gets it back. So we're back at 2.
But look at Dustin Douglas. I've never seen that where the safe like prematurely. And then he does the call again. And sometimes officials in all sports, this happens too, where sometimes you anticipate the play before letting the play actually play out.
Agree, and I think that in real time it is a bang-bang play, but yeah, I mean, I do think he did call it a little bit premature, but also to the naked eye, I do feel like you could have gone either way. Of course, the video review shows us otherwise, but yeah, it was him calling it prematurely, which is kind of what got him in a little bit of a predicament there.
So it's an out, not an error. It's an out at first. Runner still advances to second in Baker, but 1 out now here in the 3rd inning. That was one of my concerns when I heard about the double base coming in. I understand the safety part of it, but my concern, Alex, was would that make things complicated for the umpires on a call like that? And some of the answers I got from coaches is, well, we got review, but still, that now you're throwing another element into a call here.
I don't know that there's ever a perfect answer.
Fair.
Earlier it was green, now it's black.
It's foul ball. 0-1 the count to Deanna Jennings. We'll have to get like one of Cecily on top of that, find out why the color change on the base pattern. I don't know who to ask on that. I don't know who makes that decision. I mean, there's a lot of questions.
I don't know. I feel like we could ask our grounds crew probably.
Sure. You'll want to swing and a miss. And Jennings down in the count, 0-2. There it is. You're right. Yesterday was what, green?
Earlier today it was green.
It was green. And now,
it's been a long day, Eric. I know it feels like yesterday, but it was just a couple of games ago that thing was green.
I'll take your word for it. The 0-2. The ground ball up the middle and through. Base hit for Jennings. Baker will hold at third. The throw is to home, and that's going to allow Jennings to go to second on the throw. And the Blue Devils to have second and third, 1 out here in the 3rd.
Good piece of hitting by the leader, Deanna Jennings. Look at the excitement. I mean, she just wears her heart on her sleeve. Every single play, she's just fired up. She's locked in. Jada Baker avoiding the ball. Probably better to be safe than sorry. And actually, that's London Collins, too, running the bases.
Oh. Good catch.
Coming in to pinch run for Jada Baker. That's okay.
That must have happened while we were looking at it. There's a lot
I know, during the review, huh?
Yeah, London College. Durant there, young freshman, is the first pitch here to Vega is a ball. What do you think? They're probably better off not throwing there to home because that throw to home allowed Jennings to go to second.
Probably, or at least hitting your cut, right? But yeah, you could also see the cut running across the infield there trying to catch up. So kind of a tough play, but just trying to limit additional runners in scoring position.
It's a strike there, 1-1. Of course, the counter to that is you want to make sure that runner at third doesn't score. But you're right, London Collins, pinch ran for Jada Baker. Some point during all the stuff that was going on. 1-1 is outside 2-1. I warned you before the season, there was going to be a lot of moving parts all year in these games.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to need all 4 eyes plus the control room eyes. I mean, Might not even be enough sometimes.
Well, that's such a big part, not only in UCF's game, but in Duke's game.
Yep.
They run the bases aggressively. They're known to be super competitive on the base path. A lot of things put in motion, even with like delay steals and stuff. They'll try to get you not paying attention.
Amina Vega. How about this unique matchup? You got Vega versus Vega. I don't know how often that's happened in softball, but here we are. Probably the two best Vegas in the history of the sport. There's a throw to third. Not in time, and the call was a ball, so the count is full to Vega, 3-2. Now it's Duke's turn, kind of making Vega work. UCF did that earlier to Curd. Now it's the Blue Devils' turn. As Amina Vega hips one to right. That's going to drop in for a hit. And he's going to give the Blue Devils the lead. As 2 runs will score on the 2 RBI triple by Amina Vega. Gives Duke a 3-2 lead here in the third.
And Vega showing us why she's an All-American too. Just takes that pitch up and out of the zone. But look at how well she gets her hands behind and continues to elevate that pitch, hit it deep into the right center gap. Couple of runs, easily coming in to score. But not only that, Eric, Amina Vega was motoring around the bases, and this is one of the best players in the country. She played all last season, nursing a meniscal injury there and a meniscal tear. You saw her wearing an e-brace and just absolutely picking up speed, no hesitation in the way she plays.
So the triple by Vega, 2 RBIs. Gives them a 3-2 lead here in the third inning. Now Gabriella Shattuck will come to the plate. Grounded out in her first at-bat. Runner at third, still 1 out. And Shattuck muscles one in the center. That will drop for a hit. Vega will score as Shattuck gets the RBI single, and it's 4-2 Duke. This is more the Duke offense we expect to see all year.
Hitting is contagious, and right now they're just passing the bat, keeping it simple. We talk about that a lot, but this is the experience of Duke talking. That game 1, that was tough. Again, Casey Ricard was so good out there, but they're trying to make those adjustments now that they're feeling a little more settled in.
And that'll be it for Isabella Vega. Goes 2 1/3. As the Knights will go to the bullpen here early, trailing 4-2 against number 19 Duke here in the third inning. Making the coming in relief.
And Dempsey getting the ball last night as well, and showcasing what she can do out in the circle, coming from the left side, going to spin it well. Not a ton of velocity, going to sit in the mid-60s, but it's going to look a little bit firmer too with the movement that she can offer, a little bit more of a drop curve and change. That change she can throw in any count, so a lot of confidence in that pitch. Excited to see how she responds in a big pressure-filled moment, night 2.
She'll come in to face Tarina Jones. The runner at first and 1 out. Taking over for Isabella Vega. Duke made some adjustments there that second time around against Vega.
That's exactly what Coach Young said she wanted to see earlier, too. Just swinging at better pitches. She felt like they got outside of themselves in game 1 against Ricard, who was throwing a lot of balls, but Duke was taking some really big hacks. So trying to bring it in a little bit, challenge the next pitcher they saw over the zone, over the white, a little bit better. And they had some good success.
It's a swing and a miss there, and the count is 0-1. From Hildy Dempsey, a two-way player, but a lefty. With the number 33 ranked player, according to Prep Softball. Delivers the 0-1, a swing and a miss, but you see there, that's good stuff there, and throws hard for the lefty there, ahead 0-2.
That downward bite. Having that good natural movement from Dempsey.
The 0-2 from Dempsey. Fouled off. This Duke offense, I think you would agree, among the best in the ACC, if not in the country.
Definitely a contender.
0-2 is hit, fouled off. Of course, Virginia Tech has a great offense with Pete DeMore like they always do every year. North Carolina, Megan Smith-Lyon has a great offense since she's come to Chapel Hill. But Duke certainly has an offense that, when it's rolling, it's going. Matthews here, the pinch runner, by the way, at first base. Excuse me, there's a high fly ball to center. Durant, the center fielder, goes back at the track, makes the catch. And tagging from first, going to second there is Matthews, who pinch running here for Shattuck. She gets to second base there for Adeline Matthews, the freshman out of Tallahassee, Florida. There are now 2 outs. KK Mathis will come to the plate. With the runner at second and 2 outs. Dempsey gets a pop-up here to second. Humphreys is there, will make the catch to retire the side. But the Duke Blue Devils score 3 runs in the third, highlighted by the 2 RBI triple by Amina Vega, the 2-time All-American. Gives the Blue Devils a 4-2 lead going to the bottom of the third. 25 of this night's team, and to talk about their motto here, Cecily, they got a very unique team motto.
Yeah, I had a chance to talk with some of the girls earlier this week. They told me they're just cannonballing into everything this season. They said that means they're trying not to tiptoe into things. If we're going to make a mistake, we're making it at 100%. Don't wait for something to happen, make it happen instead. Guys, talk about how they showed that yesterday.
They showed that, and cannonball with that offense.
It was full send.
6 runs.
Into the deep end.
Yeah, think of that 6-run first against Boston. Scored in the first. Scored 2 here today in the first. Count is 1-1 to Aubrey Evans, who's leading it off here for the Knights. Followed by Izzy Mertez and Ashley Griffin. 2-3-4 for the Knights. Marissa Young, I think, making a defensive change. Aaron Baker's re-entering the game. That's what it is. Glove there, making sure she re-entered. Because remember, she got pinch run for it. Right. Which you were the only one in the stadium that caught it eventually.
We got to stay on top of our game over here.
Either that or I was the only one that didn't catch it. Yeah, everyone will look at it.
His caffeine intake is low right now.
1-1 the count here to Aubrey Evans. Hits it off the end of the bat, pops it up. Vega, and coming over to make the catch is Matthews, who stays in right field. Adeline Matthews, who pinch ran, stays in at right field. Taking over for KK Mathis defensively here. right field could be a revolving door early in the season as Coach Young and the Blue Devils figure out what they want to look like. They got options in right field. As Izzy Mertez takes a strike, 0-1. They're not at full strength offensively. Any day now they'll be at full strength. They'll be a dynamic offense, but they're good as it is right now. Mertez on the 0-1. Outside for a ball. 1-1 the count.
I don't know if any team around the country is full go on their offense right now. Again, everybody's just trying to knock off the rust, get things going, see different pitchers other than the ones on your own team that you've probably been facing for the last couple of months.
Mertez ahead of the count here, 2-1. For the sophomore, all-region performer last year, all Big 12 freshman team performer. Takes a strike, and it's 2-2. How do the Knights respond here? Trailing now for the first time this season against Cassidy Curd.
I think just do what they do. Keep it simple. Try to have a pitch-by-pitch approach here. One hitter isn't going to get you back tied into this game. You need to get a couple people on base. Get something going.
Mertez to the end of bat, foul ball there. What have you seen meanwhile from Curd here, who had that, gave up the 2 in the first? And as you look at this pitch here, ball slicing foul. Senior here settling in here. Now has a 2-run lead to work with.
Curd looks like she's getting better and better and trying to attack in counts a little bit sooner, not trying to get into full counts especially, but stay in a pitcher's count, lead with strikes, stay around the zone, challenge the discipline of the hitters.
And Curd gets the strikeout of Mertez. 2 gone here in the third.
And being able to put that pitch out there, flip a changeup definitely helps when you throw high cheddar up in the zone, something down and off speed to complement it. Typically works pretty well.
Now Ashley Griffin, who walked back in the first and scored on the Humphreys double, swings and fouls it off. The count is 0-1. Cassidy Curd, the senior. The 2-run lead here, trying to salvage a split for Duke today. It's a ball outside after Duke lost to Boston 2-1. Casey Ricard picking up the win there against the Blue Devils.
Big pitch, painting the corner, trying to expand that zone.
Time called there. How about Casey Ricard, 3-0 in this tournament. He's given up 1 run, 6 hits, 3 wins.
She might be the MVP so far of the tournament, just with the performances she's had and the leadership out there helping her team. I mean, they definitely feed off of her momentum, and her execution has been elite.
23 strikeouts in 21 innings. The 2-1 pitch. Griffin lines it to Amina Vega, who makes the catch, showing off the leather there that's made her a Gold Glove Award winner. We'll hear from Duke head coach Marissa Young when we return here on a Friday night in Orlando. Top of the fourth, Duke with a 4-2 lead. We're joined now by Blue Devils head coach Marissa Young. And coach, talk about your senior Cassidy Curd. Seemed to have settled in after the first inning.
Yeah, you know, first inning is always the toughest, and she's now mixing all parts of the zone, showing that off speed, really settling in.
Coach, your hitters have made great adjustments throughout the game. Talk a little bit about the talk in the dugout, player to player.
You know, last game we didn't make adjustments quick enough, and so they've recognized what they need to do. The communication from one hitter to the next to the dugout has been outstanding, and they're ready to go.
Appreciate you, coach, for taking the time to talk to us.
Thank you.
That's Marissa Young.
And they look like they're having fun out there, too, in the dugout, which I think plays a big part in success. We've seen the same looseness and enjoyment from UCF as well. The Blue Devils look pretty similar. She did have gloves on, though. Did you notice that? She had some cold gloves on.
I did not. not noticed.
It's chilly out here.
Kyrie Rodriguez will lead it off.
For all the people that gave us a hard time yesterday talking about the cold. Just saying.
Rodriguez takes a strike from Hildy Dempsey. It was Rodriguez, if you remember, hit the solo homer in the second inning that got the Blue Devils on the board. The 0-1 pitch. Low in the dirt for a ball. Of course, Marissa Young was a two-way star player at Michigan as you look at Rodriguez's homer in the second.
I mean, what a blast. An absolute no-doubter off the bat. Mixed with the nice, really encouraging music here. Love to see it. Really good stuff. Fire me up. But Rodriguez setting the tone, getting the momentum back on the side of Duke after UCF put up the first threat.
Rodriguez went around there, 1-2 the count. For the redshirt junior Rodriguez out of West Palm Beach, Florida. You're right, there's a lot of Floridians.
I told you, there's a lot of Florida kids.
1-2 count. You called the Duke Florida State series last year. Do you remember seeing a lot of Duke people in the stands?
Yeah, I feel like they travel pretty well
Yeah.
regardless. They do. And plus, that was such a big matchup. You know, it's a lot of fun to watch that one. So
the 1-2 pitch. That's low for a ball. 2-2. It's become such as much a softball school as it is obviously a basketball school. Talking to Taylor White, the support, they draw great crowds at home. You were in Durham when the ACC tournament was hosted there.
it's awesome. And the addition of Duke has really elevated, as well as Clemson, of course, has elevated the conference as a whole and the talent. But I always go back to the investment in the sport from these universities and institutions, the backing that they get financially. I mean, it makes it all possible. Always a little jealous that I didn't get to play against Duke because I just think how fun that would have been.
Rodriguez hits one to right. Calvis is there to make the catch. Zoe Calvis making the catch there for the out here in the fourth inning. Of course, Duke men's basketball, when you think that, you think of UCF men's basketball coach Johnny Dawkins. There's a lot of ties with UCF and Duke. Johnny Dawkins is an example, coaching at UCF, of course, was the star player there, Mike Krzyzewski. Duke and UCF played that memorable NCAA tournament basketball game in 2019. Zion Williamson against Taco Fall and BJ Taylor. In a classic, one of the greatest tournament games ever played. Ground ball here to third. And it's going to be called foul. Foul ball, they're going to say.
Get the pick, though, over at first base, even on
Coco is ready.
the foul ball. Good stuff. Coco was ready, but it was pick at first by Griffin. I mean, ready to go.
These two schools played in women's soccer in the round of 32 this past fall. Duke would win that on their way to the Final Four in the College Cup. And of course, these two programs have played a lot since 2020 when Duke came here to play an opening weekend. As the 1-2 is grounded at second. Humphreys is there. Will throw to first in time to get Stafford. 2 up, 2 down here in the fourth. We'll do it here, 2 outs. Now Jada Baker, who remember was hit by the pitch that started that 3-run third inning. You've said it before. Walks, hit by pitches. They lead off with a walker hit by pitch. More times than not, it comes back to score.
Those free passes haunt you for sure. And it is a pretty high statistic that it does indicate that, yes, more often than not, when you get a leadoff runner on base by way of free pass, they do come around one way or another. It's why coaches specifically focus so much on leadoff outs.
The 1-0, Baker slices it foul. Right field. Of course, Marissa Young has been the builder here. You see Jasenia Lopez and Lena Elkins warming up. Lopez on the left, Elkins on the right. You see Shannon Sale talking there to Isabella Vega, national champion. Shannon Taylor, of course, her thoughts with Oklahoma's program. Jen Rocha taking not with the program right now, taking some time off. As a nice play made there by Coco Jaimes. We wish Jen Rocha the best as she stepped away from the team. Hope to have her back soon. Shannon Taylor played for her. 1-2-3 inning for Hildy Dempsey and the Knights. We head to the bottom of the fourth. We'll hear from Sydney Ball Malone when we return. Bottom of the fourth, we're now joined by UCF head coach Sydney Ball Malone. And coach, let's talk about Hildy Dempsey. Comes into relief there and kind of shuts the door there and keeps Duke off balance there. Talk about your young freshman Dempsey.
On it, we practiced it yesterday, as you could see in the Bakersfield game, and so she's ready for her call. And we have a great staff, and we're going to use it.
Coach, the atmosphere tonight is pretty electric. Talk about what it feels like to play under the lights.
Yeah. Always fun. You know, it might feel like the opening day night again, but we always have a great crowd, and pleased to see all of them out here, especially with a little bit of the cold weather. So, yeah.
Appreciate you, Coach, for taking the time to talk to us.
Thank you. Good. Go Knights.
Sydney Ball Malone and the Knights.
Good stuff. It's loud out there. You can tell she was kind of struggling even hearing us with the headset on. We know how loud it can be and feel on the field. Love to see this UCF team just playing loose. I mean, they're down 2 right now, but they're fighting and chipping away. They're having good at-bats. Again, I just feel like the persona and the character is a whole different ball team this year than we've seen in years past in the best way possible.
Sierra Humphreys to lead it off. Tries a bunt. And that one now is going to be called an out. And they're going to say it hit Humphreys. Let's take a look.
Tries to get the sneaky bunt down, but just so frustrating too as a hitter. It stinks when you get in a situation like that.
So big out there, 1 gone. Now Coach Ball Malone's going to go to the bench here for Ayala Durant. He's going to be pinch hit for here. Trying to get something going against Cassidy Curd after scoring 2 in the first inning. It's going to be Kendall Trim, the freshman, to pinch hit here for Durant.
You know the other interesting thing too, Eric, I think about UCF trying to put some small ball down off of Curd, is she's naturally that upspin pitcher, and it's almost like a catch-22 trying to do a quick sneaky bunt, lay it down on somebody that's up in the zone. Typically you tend to miss or foul a lot of balls off. So interesting efforts there.
First pitch, ball 1, 1-0 the count to Trim. True freshman. Moody, Alabama. Highly touted back. Swings and misses. Count is 1-1. 4 runs, 4 hits, no errors for Duke. 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors for UCF. It's outside for a ball, 2-1 the count.
Good patient at bat too so far by Trim. You know, as a pinch hitter, she's typically going to try to come right at you, give you something over the plate to hit. You're coming off cold on the bench, but still got to be selective. Don't try to force it. And that right there, swinging at pitches outside the zone, you got to look at, if I'm swinging at good pitches, what would my count be? If I'm not forcing it, what would my count be? And that kind of flips the script. Am I hitting in a hitter's count, or am I hitting with the pitcher ahead?
2-2 pitch. Strike 3 looking as Curd gets the strikeout. Trim goes down for the second out here in the inning.
And this is why you want to hit early in the count too with Cassidy Davis. You got to be specifically selective out there, just because she can throw the rise ball out of the zone, make a chase, but then she can bring it back and kind of change your eye level too, throwing it for a strike. Makes it tough when you're out there guessing. UCF just keep chipping away pitch by pitch, trying to find base runners.
Beth Damon now at the plate, double to left. And her first at bat. Takes the ball. Cecily Webb, or I believe you got more on Beth Damon here.
Yeah, Beth Damon has an older sister. Her name is Sierra, and she was her catching coach growing up. She told me she's always been someone she can turn to advice. They're 10 years apart, but she said they've always been super close. She told me she was a big part in my softball journey. She would take me to practice, and some of my favorite memories growing up were singing with her in the car on the way to practice. Now that she's moved away from home for college, it's been hard being away, but there's lots of long phone calls, and they're still super close. Back to you guys.
Appreciate you, Cecily. That's 3-0 the count to Beth Damon. Damon ahead, and look what we have here, Alex.
Oh, Beth Damon's Kitty Cats. Watching some UCF softball. They're all dressed up. Love to see it. Sporting the fan gear. Maybe that's what all these schools need is dog fan gear, cat fan gear. I think they'd make a killing.
The sister that Cecily was talking about is the one that's tweeting out the photos.
I love it.
Huh? Meanwhile, Cassidy Curd showing the competitiveness, coming back from a 3-0 deficit here to make it 3-2 on Damon. Full count. Damon reaches for it, grounds to second. Vega to first in time to retire as a side. She's like a vacuum cleaner there at second base. We are through 4 here on this Friday night at the Complex. Blue Devils up 2.
Day, other than on your new field.
Stanford with the win over Oklahoma State, 4-2. The final there. We have a shout out to our good friend Jenna Becerro's out there in Palo Alto calling the game. Another year, exciting year in the ACC. Of course, this is an ACC Big 12 matchup. The 2 and number 3 RPI rated conferences last season. As that ball's hit to the right side, and matchups like this will determine who's certainly joining the SEC in the conversation for the best conference in college softball. 0-1 the count. Goldie Dempsey, the freshman, in relief here against Burgess. It's a ball and a strike to count. First, the Big 12. Texas Tech, the favorites, with Nyjah Kennedy and company. Oklahoma State will be in the mix. UCF picked 5th in the Big 12 preseason poll. Arizona State played Oklahoma to a 2-1 game last night. Kenzie Brown was magnificent, but Oklahoma, their young true freshman Kendall Wells with a 2-run homer was the difference. That's it, fouled off. Of course, Oklahoma and Arizona going to be playing up in Tucson here the next couple days, but basically a 3-game series. Here's the Big 12 standings in the preseason poll. Texas Tech, the favorites, with Oklahoma State second. Arizona and Arizona State tied for third with UCF. BYU, they're in the mix. 1-2. Burgess went around. That's a strikeout. Hildy Dempsey with the strikeout here in relief in the 5th.
Big pitch by Dempsey, something down and out of the zone. Talk about play discipline there, but Dempsey getting out of the check swing from Burgess. Big first out.
It brings out the bubbles here, Alex.
Gotta keep it fun, gotta keep it light.
Strikeout. It's a To strike. What's your thoughts on the Big 12 here in the outlook this year with the Big 12? You got, certainly I mentioned the teams there in the mix. We'll get to see Baylor up close and Texas Tech. You and I will get to see them up close here in the middle of March.
I'm excited. I think there's so much talent in the Big 12 and everything that they've been able to do, just continuing to improve team by team, and so much to look forward to for the conference. I am excited to see Texas Tech here. I call a lot of games of Texas Tech that week, actually, Eric, because I also call the Florida State-Texas Tech game.
Ooh.
And then I call them here in Orlando. So I'm excited to see Nyjah in person, and maybe she'll let me step in the box. What do you think?
Do you want
just
to
to see it? I don't want to swing. No, I would throw my back out or something. But I would just like to see it. I'm too old to try to actually compete with it. But
it's gonna be an electric week. You got an exciting week. You got a wild week coming up.
Crazy stuff.
1-2 the count. Hit up the middle. Aubrey Evans is there. Will throw to first in time to get the out. And 2 gone here in the 5th. Of course, look at some of the pitchers here coming out of the Clearwater next weekend. Nyjah Kennedy, the 2-time National Player of the Year. Of course, Jordy Fromm, formerly Jordy Ball, 3-time All-American in her state of Nebraska. Carlin Pickens, the reigning 2-time SEC pitcher, is looking for a three-peat. And all 3 of them looking to finish out their careers in Oklahoma City.
Exciting stuff. The talent in the Clearwater tournament is so much fun. So many great teams, so many great players that you get to go watch.
UCF will be a part of that, as will Duke. Duke, in fact, you look at their schedule the first few weeks, the 1-0 to Vega is a strike, 1-1 the count. They're here in Orlando. They'll play in Clearwater at ESPN, then go to Mary Nutter. For Duke, what a way to start the season. UCF, of course, has a midweek with Missouri, which has kind of become an annual matchup before going to Clearwater. UCF will play Georgia, kind of renewing that matchup. How many times we've seen that matchup here and under the lights here at the complex, going back to 2022, 2023, and then last year. Well, this year they're going to play in Clearwater. 2-1 is outside. Nebraska, I mentioned there, UCF will play as well. So UCF is going to be one of the programs that get to say they saw arguably the 2 best players in the sport. They'll play against them, and Nyjah Kennedy and Jordy Fromm.
Super exciting stuff. I mean, just, again, the talent level right there alone is elite. Some of the best senior class across the country. Sport continues to elevate.
Count is full here. Heldy Dempsey trying to work a 1-2-3, 5th inning against the All-American Amina Vega, who's the difference right now with a 2 RBI triple, and she gets on the 2-out walk. Let's take a look at this field here, Alex. You got Duke, FAU making the trip with Jordan Clark, Florida State, Georgia, JMU, LSU, Missouri, NC State, Nebraska, Northwestern, Oklahoma State, Tennessee, A&M, Texas Tech, UCF, and UCLA. What stands out to you there?
Well, just a lot of teams that are ranked in the top 25. I mean, but also the mix of conference, right? You're going to have your ACC, you're going to have a good amount of SEC. UCLA coming from the West Coast too, and just the diversity as well, I think, is what I'm most excited about too. Nebraska with Jordy Fromm, I love watching her play. The better competition they can play, she just seems to rise to the occasion all the time.
Is that the team you're intrigued to see there in Clearwater that week?
I mean, can I just say all of them?
Sure, you could. That's cheating, but okay. I only say Nebraska because we don't see them often
we don't get to,
on national TV like the other teams. To your point of Jordy Fromm, who many believe is the favorite to win the National Player of the Year this year. And then LSU, UCF and LSU will play on Valentine's Day.
UCF has a really tough schedule.
Yeah.
When
do they don't?
You're right.
What else is new? Meanwhile, Duke here, bringing with Gabriella Shattuck to hit here with 1 on, 2 out after the walk to Vega. The strike, and the count is 0-1 to Vega. Vega, in your eyes, a national ACC Player of the Year candidate. Maybe among the favorites?
Absolutely. I think among the favorites. I think right now it's so hard to beat the pitcher two-way players. I still think they need to put them in like a league of their own of just pitcher of the year nationally.
Ball grounded, booted by Evans, throws quickly to first, though, and gets Shattuck to retire the side. Nice job by the senior Aubrey Evans, and a what? Nice job by Hildy Dempsey, the freshman. Pitches a second scoreless inning, sends us to the bottom of the 5th. Knights down 2. Here's the Big 12 outlook for the season. Texas Tech, of course, the favorites to win the Big 12. A lot of moves there. Nyjah Kennedy, big star player. Of course, Texas Tech added 7 transfers. That was well documented, well discussed over the offseason. Team that was a win away from the national championship.
I feel like if they don't make another run deep into the postseason, it's going to be a bust. With the amount of NIL money that's been invested into that program, I mean, I feel like you have no choice but to be good.
Right? A lot of pressure.
Absolutely. And rightfully so. I mean, you're paying the big bucks. All eyes on you. We want to see it.
Well, we're going to see it a lot.
We are.
See it in Clearwater? You say you're going to see it all that week when they come down here?
Can't wait.
First, Nyjah Kennedy, National Player of the Year. Of course, Ruby Malin in Oklahoma State trying to get back to the World Series. They had 5 straight World Series appearances. That snapped last year, trying to get back to one. Ruby, of course, made it also to the World Series when she was Washington. Perhaps Texas Tech's biggest threat in the Big 12, at least many believe, with Kenny Gajewski and company. Kenny Gajewski, maybe only thing missing in his resume is that elusive national title. They've been knocking on the door.
For a long time. A lot of success as a coach, just hasn't sealed the deal yet, but it's come pretty close.
Samantha Ray here to lead it off for the Knights, down to the count 1-2 against Curd. Pops it up to third. Baker's there, makes the catch. 1 up, 1 down here in the bottom of the 5th. How has Curd controlled this UCF offense?
I think she's still keeping them off balance. She's not necessarily having to attack the zone. She's still throwing some good balls around the zone enough to look believable, but this UCF offense is pretty aggressive still. I want to see them take a little more often, and I think they're trying to figure out what that balance is. You can't take the strikes and swing at the balls, right? You've got to try to be selective, take the balls, swing at the strikes.
Zoe Calvis at the plate, 0-1 the count. Arizona, a team we haven't talked about in the Big 12, a lot of new look Wildcats. Caitlin Lowe, happy birthday to Caitlin Lowe, by the way. Nothing says happy birthday than playing Oklahoma. Up there at Tucson. The 0-1 by Calvis. That should be a cool scene with Patty Gasso and Mike Kendrea both in the same premise. The two with 8 national championships. Jalen Adams, their ace now, coming over from Iowa. Ball and a strike here to Calvis. There's Cassidy Curd. There's a strike, and we're seeing why Cassidy Curd is so valuable to Duke and why she will be in the conversation for ACC Pitcher of the Year this year.
She's had a fantastic career, just loves to go out there and compete. She's also just super fun. She does some silly stuff on the field, and you just love to see her enjoying herself and her teammates. One of my favorite, Eric, was last year, I believe it was, at Mary Nutter. She was pitching, getting ready to go into the game, and they don't have bullpens there, and there's so many people, so you've got to pitch on the field in foul territory. She turned around while she was warming up and tried to field a ball, but she thought it was foul. It was actually fair.
Oh.
So that one will go down as probably a pretty funny, maybe sometimes embarrassing, not really, moment.
Well, you get to laugh off years from now.
She got to be an outfielder for like a minute.
Or she helped Duke get to that World Series 2 years ago. They beat Missouri in a dramatic super regional in Columbia. Payoff pitch. Inside ball 4, and Zoe Calvis draws a 1-out walk here in the bottom of the 5th for the Knights. That'll get to the top of the order now with Coco Jimenez coming to the plate. 4 runs, 4 hits, no errors for Duke. 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors for UCF.
Fun fact, too, about Cassidy Curd. She used to come to the Florida State camps when she was a little kid, not like early recruiting age. Her and one of her best friends would come up, and when I was a player, I would work there. It's just a full circle moment, so kind of cool.
Did you ask for your autograph?
I don't know. Also, her mom is coincidentally, my grandpa's doctor, which, again, small world. Like, how does that happen? Don't know. Didn't even know, actually, for a long time.
I feel like we're creating the 6 degrees of
100%. 100%.
The strike, 0-2 the count here. What do the Knights got to do? They're at the top of the order. Got a runner at first here, 1 out opportunity here to make a comeback down 2.
Well, they're off to a good start getting base runners, I think, is where it starts. Again, you're not looking to change the game with one swing here. It's going to be a collective group stringing a couple things together.
It's a foul out there. Made it happen as Baker makes the play. It was a question whether she would have a room or not, and she did, and she makes the catch, and Jaimes fouls out for the second out here in the 5th.
Jada Baker so good at covering ground there, and a little bit of a check swing from Jaimes, but Jada Baker goes all the way to the fence. Look at how she's gonna use it to bounce off and get her momentum going towards second base, just in case Calvez got a lead and thought about advancing.
Aubrey Evans will hit here, but not before Marissa Young comes out to talk to Cassidy Kurt. No bullpen action right now on the Duke side. So, I mean, this is probably Kurt's game. We saw Jaquez pitch earlier. Pitched well. Gave him a chance to win, but Duke's offense couldn't solve Casey Ricard. They've come out here ready to go up 4-2 in the 5th. So Coach Bumwell talking to Zoe Calvis. Meanwhile, we got additional pooch picks here, Alex.
Look at this, Huck and Finn. I mean, is this inspired by a Huckleberry Finn? I don't know, but they are so cute. Looks like some kind of border collie, if I had to guess, in the back left. And then, of course, a beautiful lab in the front, stealing the show, or trying to, like typical lab behavior. So cute, love the pooch pics. Keep sending them through on X and tag UCF Production. You can tag me too, include their names, please, just so that we can give them a special shout out and love they deserve.
So now Aubrey Evans, after the meetings are over, hitting with 1 on, 2 out here in the 5th. Takes ball 1, 1-0 the count. Two outs here. Calvis has good speed at first. You wonder here if they consider Calvis running here. Now it's a moot point as Evans grounds it to short, and the throw to second in time to get the force out and retire the side. We are through 5 here on this Friday night in Orlando. Blue Devils up 2. It's away from first pitch Saturday morning when Boston takes on Buffalo at 9 a.m. Buffalo and Duke will follow that. Cal State Bakersfield and Maryland at 2. Duke and Cal State Bakersfield, and then Maryland and UCF tomorrow night. Here from the Plex, my broadcast partner will be right here in 12 hours.
That's a quick turnaround for some of us.
Be on the call with Austin Lyon. You think he's watching this game, or you think he's already like called it a night, getting ready for tomorrow?
I don't know, he's got young kids.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So maybe he's spending some quality time with them, I would hope.
Tyrena Jones swings and hits one to deep left. That ball is gone. Solo home run by Tyrena Jones. The transfer from Purdue extends the Duke lead to 5-2 here in the 6th.
Gotta love the celebrations.
You want to describe that celebration there?
I mean, everybody needs a little ice bath every so often. Feeling good, looking good, swinging it well. That one, and no doubter right off the bat. She knew before she even rounded first. I mean, an absolute tank of a shot. Just takes a pitch, missed over the middle of the plate. She doesn't miss.
Not a bad pickup there. And let's see if this could be it for Hildy Dempsey. Yep, it will be. We're going to have a pitching change here for the Knights. Is Hildy Dempsey come out? We'll tell you about the new Knights pitcher when we return here in the top of the 6th. pitcher for the Knights, and redshirt junior Macy Miles making her 2026 debut.
And Macy Miles going to be kind of that bridge specialist, going to come in bigger situations mid-game here, going to live in the mid to upper 50s, so not a whole lot of velocity that she'll have, but she's able to spin the ball well, command it for the most part too, trying to attack the zone, get some ground ball outs.
First pitch outside for a ball. 1-0 the count. Key is hitting her spots.
Always.
Facing KK Mathis. He re-enters. Swings and fouls it off. Count is 1-1. Macy Miles, redshirt junior. I mentioned earlier, UCF will play LSU on Valentine's Day. That'll be unique for her. Of course, with her father, Les Miles, won a national title as the head coach of the LSU Tigers. Macy grew, spent a lot of time in Baton Rouge. The 1-1 pitch. It's there, just missed. 2-1 the count. And when you're in Baton Rouge and you need somebody to get some pitching lessons from, who do you call? Beth Tarita.
Of course, the best in the game.
2 balls and a strike to count. Ground ball to third. Bobbled a little bit by Jaimes, but quickly responds, throws to first in time. Good reflex there by Jaimes, and Miles gets the ground out here for the first out in the 6th inning.
Good job by Jaimes working down and through that ball. Hit pretty sharp too when you get around it. Sometimes you get a tough bounce there, but stays with it. Good little scoop and short hop action. Keeps her feet moving well, fires across the diamond. She's got a great arm too, which I think is a lot of the reason we see her at third. But also, Eric, to be fair, I feel like, not that Beth Tarita does pitching lessons a lot, but when Les Miles is the one calling you, asking for lessons, I feel like you can't say no.
Correct. I know they're good friends, the family's there. Kyrie Rodriguez at the plate. With no one on, 1 out. Missed for a ball. We have some breaking news. Sources tell us here in the booth. Austin Lyon is up. He is prepping for tomorrow morning. So for all we know, he could be watching us, but he might be watching the encore, the on-cards. As you know, if you have ESPN app, all games are archived. Alex Powers.
Love it.
He might be watching that Bakersfield-Buffalo Wild game we called before this game, getting ready for the Buffalo-Boston game.
Maybe.
That's the beauty of it. A ball and 2 strikes on, as long as you're watching us live, on demand, archives. 1-2 the count. Ball 2. It's great to have him again another season helping us out here on the softball coverage. Of course, does a great job calling men's basketball throughout the year. Also does some baseball, filling in for Mark Daniels from time to time. Helping out there with Steven Branca. This guy, utility guy.
I love it.
2-2.
Swiss Army knife.
You just remind him, I've been pumping him up on this broadcast, so he needs to kind of return the favor. I'm just playing. He doesn't need to do it. He's good. He's a good friend.
You're a goof.
Well, that's fact. Definitely a goof. There is Bobby Malone, Sydney Ball Malone's husband.
Hoping everybody's feeling okay too. Coach said that the kids have been a little sick and they got to get ready for opening weekend in baseball.
Yeah, they're going to be playing some baseball,
coming
ball,
up. Yeah. Ready to roll.
Got a busy year for Bobby. Sitting there in that spot right there by the RV. Rich Wall is probably thinking, where were you last night when I was right there? Ball is hit to right field. Goes foul. Rich Wallace was hanging around by that RV. I think if he would have run into Bobby, I think he would have asked, hey, can I just hang out in the RV? It was pretty cold last night.
It was cold last night, yeah.
Not too bad tonight. There's see Bobby right here. He's checking his RV. It's open right now. It's open, Alex. We can go. See, we can broadcast from there. Yeah,
I agree.
Let's go. Let's get the parties all and negotiate this.
Maybe they'll give us a tour. Welcome to our crib. Welcome to our broadcast crib.
I've gotten a tour of the RV. It's a very nice.
Okay.
Have you ever been in an RV?
Yes.
Okay.
Not theirs, but yes.
Oh, you need to get a tour.
Maybe one day. I'm surprised Coach Bear doesn't just bring it to the field sometimes and just park it so she can just live here time to time.
Ground ball to Jaimes, who throws to first in time. for the second out of the inning as Rodriguez grounds out. 2 up, 2 down here in the 6th inning. And this is kind of vintage Macy Miles. When she's on, induces a lot of ground ball outs.
A lot of ground balls because hitters are a lot of time out front, kind of rolling over pitches from her. She doesn't have a lot of velocity, so just getting hitters to get themselves out. She throws strikes. It's just the timing aspect to come in and kind of shake things up.
First pitch, ball 1, 1-0 the count to Jayla Stafford. Of course, Macy's mom is a former basketball player and a basketball coach at Central Michigan, so grew up in the family and coaching. The 1-0, it's a ground ball to short. Aubrey Evans will throw to first in time, and a nice job by the redshirt junior Miles. Throwing a scoreless 6th inning, but Tarina Jones, prior to that Miles' arrival, hits this solo homer to give Duke a 5-2 lead heading to the bottom of the 6th. Here on this chilly swings Friday night here, temperatures dropping to 51 degrees. Izzy Mertez to lead it off for the Knights against Cassidy Curd. It'll be Mertez who takes ball 1, followed by Ashley Griffin and Sierra Humphreys. Heart of the order here for the Knights against Curd, who gave up the 2 runs in the first, but has settled in and shut down this Knights offense to this point. And it's getting late for the Knights.
In the danger of Cassidy Curd feeling good, trying to work ahead in counts here. Getting behind later in this ball game. Throwing a good amount of pitches, hasn't broken the 100 mark yet. Which again, when you're managing injury and trying to keep yourself healthy for the longevity of the season, you got to try to manage that pitch count, keep it low, keep your effectiveness high, attack early.
3-0. Mertez takes ball 4, a 4-pitch walk to Izzy Mertez to start the night's 6th inning. It's a good start there. Izzy, of course, led the Knights in walks last year with 30. She'll come to hit here, and with Ashley Griffin coming to hit. See if they pinch run for Mertez here. Yep. It's going to be Carly Jo Penner, transfer from Kent State. It's a pinch run here for Izzy. Carly Jo Penner now to pinch run here with 1 out, nobody on here for the Knights, down 5-2. 5 runs, 5 hits, no errors for Duke. 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors for UCF. The difference really has been Duke slugging, 2 home runs and a triple. Has produced 4 runs of the 5. It's a strike. The count is 0-1 to Ashley Griffin. Knights got their 2 runs in the first on a 2 RBI double by Sierra Humphrey that gave them a 2-0 lead.
Power game helps, only having to hit a couple of balls deep in the park and get some run production from it. Definitely makes you a little more efficient out there. Singling people to death can be really tough, especially when you're facing good pitchers like you are on both sides of the ball tonight.
0-2 the count. Outside for a ball. 1-2 the count to Griffin. Austin Lyons also checked in. He's working on the spray chart of Buffalo's hitting from earlier today. Could be up late, though, he said.
He's bought in.
I don't know if he's a caffeine guy or not, but...
You're trying to tell me to get him a Coke? I think somebody needs to bring me a Coke. Y'all are taking breaks.
They gave you a bag here.
I know,
a lot
thank
of goodies
you.
here. I don't know.
Major took good care of me in the snack department.
Hey.
Shout out, Major. Thank you.
2-2 the count. Griffin hits one off the end of the bat. Boy, we've said that a few times tonight. Oh, Mathis makes the catch. That one, the wind maybe played a little trickery there with her. Had to turn around, but makes the catch to retire Ashley Griffin for the first out. Here at the bottom of the 6th.
High fly ball, too. I kind of lost it for a minute there in the night sky. And not much wind, thankfully, for
not compared to
the
yesterday.
Defense, right. I don't have many gusts going right now. Maybe on occasion it'll pick up, but the ball was flying earlier thanks to the wind. Some of these gusts were taking it.
Sierra Humphreys now at the plate, takes a strike, 0-1. Cecily, you got more here on CC.
Sister story for you. Sierra's older sister played college softball too. She played many sports growing up, but she really wanted to follow in her sister's footsteps. But she told me it's more of a competition than me looking up to her. I just want to be better than her. Every year they would put their stats together and compare them. And Sierra's freshman year, they actually played against each other in a tournament where her sister won. But they're always competing against one another, guys. What a special but interesting bond.
That game you're talking about, Cecily, was the Mary Nutter Classic when Oregon and UCF played in Sierra's freshman year, going against KK Humphreys, who's with the Ducks. Ducks edged out the Knights in that one. Of course, KK now a first-year full-time assistant at Seattle. Going into coaching, of course, their mom, Krista Gomez, a national champion. Great player at Arizona. They're very competitive. In fact, I've been told that CC has bragged that she's the best home run hitter between her and her mom. Has more home runs already than her.
Gotta love the competition in the family.
1-2. Humphreys hits one to center. This one's going to stay in the park. Jennings makes the catch. 2 gone. Here in the 6th inning, Penner stays at first.
I love watching Jennings in center field. I mean, she wastes no time. She covers great ground out there, but she gets rid of the ball so fast. I mean, you see her running a good way to that right center gap there, making the grab, and just immediately turning and throwing, like on a dime. She does not hold the ball.
Kendall Trim, who pinch hit a couple of innings ago, struck out, comes in now with 1 on, 2 out. She's hitting for Ayala Durant. One freshman pinch hit came in for the other. Trim ahead 1-0 the count. The 1-0 pitch is there. 2-0 the count to Trim. One thing is for sure, no matter what happens here the rest of the game, I think these two teams will be better off playing this game. I think both teams will take a lot from today. Duke certainly in their first 2 games battle tested already, playing Boston and UCF back to back on this day. And UCF, they'll take some notes from this. We tend to, make a lot of points after 1 game or 2 at opening weekend. As you know, it's a marathon.
It is.
Trim fouls it off. 2-2 the count.
We're in it for the long haul.
Trim here trying to trim the deficit. You're scoring at home. That's 3 games in before that pun was used. Boy, you could see that swing, foul it off. That's just why they're excited about her, Alex. Look at that swing and that power. The ball just takes off when she makes contact.
We saw it yesterday, too. She hit a foul ball home run to the opposite field, too. I mean, just look at it. She doesn't even stay on it through her extension very long, and just showing us how much pop she's got in the bat.
The 2-2. Got her. Cassidy Curd turned it up a different decimal there and shows a lot of emotion there to get the strikeout to end the 6th. We head to the top of the 7th. Knights down 3. Back here in less than 12 hours. Interesting to see how Boston comes out after the emotional win against Duke. Will Casey Ricard throw that game? Why not? Just throw most of him this weekend. She'll take on Buffalo. Buffalo then will take on Duke. Cal State Bakersfield and Maryland. Duke and Cal State Bakersfield and Maryland and UCF tomorrow night. All the games live on ESPN Plus, the ESPN app, even on the Disney Plus if you have the bundle. Here now, Lena Elkins comes in relief here in the 7th. First pitch is fouled off to Jada Baker. The count is 0-1. Fourth night pitcher in this ballgame. Vegas started. Hildy Dempsey came in relief. Macy Miles, and now Lena Elkins.
And not surprised to see the change here, bringing Elkins in. I think the more pitchers you can get exposure to, the better. Again, it's still a pretty close game here, and Elkins is going to be a lot faster than what you saw with Macy Miles. Going to live in the mid-60 range, good movement. Going to try to command the zone and utilize the off-speed pitch, mixing the changeup in any count.
1 ball, 1 strike to count. It's up high. In fact, UCF now used 7 pitchers in the first 3 games. They have 9 on the roster. Jasenia Lopez and Caitlin Cochran are the only 2 we haven't seen yet, and I have a feeling we'll see them maybe as soon as tomorrow night against Maryland. 2-1 pitch. Fouled off to the right side, and Coach Bolo's not going to be shot. She will use those arms, 9Ms, especially early here, Alex, with so many games here in the first few weeks.
You have to see what everybody's made of and how the staff is going to play out. You see everybody warming up there in the bullpen. Well, at least you've got Caitlin Cochran
on the right.
getting some good innings.
Tori Payne, who started the game against Bakersfield last night, on the left.
And depending on Elkins and how she can rein the control in here, first couple of batters will be a good telltale of how long we can expect her to go. Tori Payne, yeah, on the left. Glad to know we still know our rights from our lefts. Hey, that's a win in my book after today.
Payoff pitch from Elkins. Got her. Big strikeout. Lena Elkins, who's worked hard in her game all offseason. Much different pitcher this year than she was at this time a year ago.
Big swing by Jada Baker there. Well out of the zone. Not even close, but it looks good out of the hand. Anything elevated, we feel like we can crush. Newsflash, it's hard. Not impossible, but hard.
1 out. Of course, Elkins transferred last year from Charlotte to UCF. Big adjustment from a student standpoint, coming on campus and athletic, and I think she was working on her mechanics and they really took a lot of time, worked on it during last year and into the offseason, and much more confident this year, as a lot of these Knights players are, compared to where they were a year ago at this time, Alex, where they were sort of not sure what they could do.
They got a lot of experience under their belt too, which definitely helps with the confidence. You don't know what you don't know until you start getting out there and failing and just trying to figure it out. So great adjustments that we've seen so far.
Aaliyah Terrell, pinch hitting out of Greensboro, North Carolina. She's hitting for Burgess here in the 7th inning. The 0-1. There's a little tapper. Jaimes quickly charging, throwing the first in time. Nice play by Coco Jaimes. Played all of second base last year, but has played third before. And boy, she got a great jump there and made a nice, perfect throw.
Good defense by Jaimes. You see how quick she is, just the quick grab and go. A little throw in the run action with a short game attempt by Terrell. Really good defense that we've seen tonight at the hot corner.
Deanna Jennings now at the plate. Swing and misses, and the count is 0-1. You see the difference already with Elkins. Last year she couldn't mix up the speed as much as she is already here. And in this day and age, you got to mix speeds if you want to be successful as a pitcher.
The hitters are too good, and the information is too far. And I mean, people will know you like the back of their hand, inside and out. So you got to do something, whether it's something different, or you've got to be so excellent at your craft that you can do whatever you want, whenever you want, with your control and how you can command a zone. Otherwise, you got to have a good variation in speed.
No balls, 2 strikes to count. Pitch from Elkins, up high for a ball, 1-2. Deanna Jennings. That is a nice night. Defensively, remember, threw out the Knights base runner. Malaya Warren at home plate. Maybe changed the momentum of this game. It was a 2-1 game at the time.
Definitely, it's those big plays right there that get the momentum back on the side of however the play kind of plays out, but a lot of good stuff, good momentum shifts throughout the game, a lot of discipline back and forth, and just a gritty fight.
Comebacker knocked down by Elkins. Elkins bare hands throws to first, not in time. Jennings beats it out. She gets her 2nd hit of the game and extends the inning here with 2 outs.
Talk about having fun. Jennings just hits this ball so sharply back to Lena Elkins. Fields her position well, knocks it down, but look at the excitement from Jennings. I mean, there are not many people that play the game as fierce, as freely as she does. Look at the hustle, the immediate celebration. I don't even know if she saw the umpire make the call, but it's like she knew. Good gut instinct. Her teammates loving it as well. Some of them can't help but laugh. I feel like that kind of attitude is just contagious.
That's significant because you got Amina Vega coming to the play, but she pops it up on the first pitch as Aubrey Evans makes the catch to retire the side. So Elkins works around the 2-out single as the Blue Devils strand a run. Last chance for the Knights. Coming up here in the bottom of the 7th, down 3. Welcome back, bottom of the 7th. Duke will be back here tomorrow at 11:30 in the morning against Buffalo. Austin Lyon and Alex Powers will have that game for you. Well, Buffalo can swing the bats. That'll be an interesting game, and curious too who Duke throws in that ball game. But first things first, they're trying to see if they can close this out, leading 5-2. Beth Damon to lead it off for the Knights. Swings and misses, and the count is 0-1 to Beth Damon with Samantha Ray and Zoe Calvis scheduled night hitters. Don't be surprised though we see some maybe pinch hitters here, depending how this inning unfolds. Beth Damon doubled one of the last hits that Cassidy Kurt has given up in this game. After that first inning when the Knights came out explosive again, up 2-0, but Kurt has settled in. What have you thoughts here on Kurt? That's a big revelation here for Duke. Her ace looking like the ace that everybody expects.
I think it's a combination. If you can give Cassidy Curd a lead, she can be really dangerous because she's got a little bit more wiggle room to work.
Sure.
And when she's got more wiggle room, she can work off the plate and out of the zone a little bit and see, again, testing the discipline of the hitters and how locked in they could be with that plate discipline. But I think it's just kind of that two-way approach, Eric, and she's done a good job of that, and her defense and her offense have really had her back to get her that support.
2-2 the count to Damon. And boy, she mixes the speed like there, catches Damon frozen for the strikeout for Cassidy Kurt. A big first out here in the 7th.
Catches Damon, but also just catches the corner there. Something painted on the outside corner coming from the left side. Doesn't have to break the plate all the way, so just nicks it. Really good stuff. Great command by the senior.
Kendall Yarnell will pinch hit here for Samantha Ray, just like she did yesterday in the season opener against Boston in the first inning with the bases loaded. She crushed one into center field for a grand slam. First night to hit a grand slam on opening day since Ashley Van Ryan. Shout out Ashley Van Ryan. Did it in 2006 against Texas Tech. For those that watched Ashley Van Ryan like I did, not a power hitter. I think she'd be the first to say, more of a slap hitter. Great captain, part of the 08 championships, USA championship team, as well as the 05 A-Sun championship team. But that's been it. That's been the 2 grand slams UCF's hit on opening day. Good company for Kendall Yarnell.
There were all kinds of offensive records that were set yesterday with the outing and the outburst of the bats.
Yarnell takes ball 2-1 the count.
Do you remember him off the top of your head, Eric? It was
Well, the 13 runs
right.
against Boston ties for the most runs in the opening game of the season, tying him with 13 runs they did in 2021 against Florida Gulf Coast up in Fort Myers. The 23 runs in the 2 games yesterday, most runs they've scored since UTEP over 14 years ago. Is Yarnell here ahead 3-1.
And there was something from the 2000s as well. I'll find it. I think it was about a Grand Slam.
You mentioned this Grand Slam?
Almost right on cue. Kendall Yarnell got all of this one. Pinch hit at bat here in the very first inning yesterday against Boston. I mean, absolutely demolished that ball. And what a time to come alive. Get the bats going, set the tone here from the very first game. Really good stuff by Yarnell.
Her 13th career pinch hit. I'm not an official record, but I believe the all-time leader in UCF. She swings and misses there, and the count is full. 3-2. Coach Paul Malone said after the game yesterday to look for Yarnell and Trim possibly get a lot of playing time, maybe in the lineup, split some time, depending on matchups. Payoff pitch. And that's ball forward, a walk to Yarnell. Good at bat for Yarnell, who gets on base with 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th.
Great pinch hit at bat. Really patient in the box, trying to do a job. And you're right, Eric, I do think it's going to be a lot about matchups for Yarnell. Does UCF need speed with Samantha Ray and somebody likely to be consistently on base, or do they need the power game that Yarnell has to offer? So it'll be a game time decision, of course, for Coach Bear.
Got some options.
Who's got a lot to make.
Here she's going to call up Reagan Vukun, the freshman out of Lincoln, Nebraska, who's a two-way player, just like Hildy Dempsey. Came in and closed out the win against Boston, and now will hit here with 1 on and 1 out. One of the interesting things about this roster, it's deep. It's got 28 players, but you got players like Vukun and Dempsey who are two-way players. They can hit as well as pitch. I think Tori Payton's another one that can hit. So technically, you got a lot of hitting options. 1-0. It's 2-0. Just an incredible freshman class. And we've seen a lot of them already here. And Marissa Young is going to come out here to have a word to settle down her ace, Cassidy Curd. So we'll see what they could do here. And of course, this is kind of big here because the Knights have a chance to perhaps flip the order here and get to the top of the order with another runner getting on base if they can pull that off. Both teams huddle up. Of course, Vacuum's mom played it for Princeton. Softball there, was part of the '96 World Series team 30 years ago. Ashley Van Ryn, 06.
So yesterday's Grand Slam by Yarnell was only the second player in program history to slug an opening day Grand Slam since Van Ryn in 2006. As you see, the hit by pitch. UCF might have something going here late in the ball game. A little bit of an oppositional threat against Cassidy Curd. Hit by pitch. They come tight and inside right off the elbow guard.
It's a good call. So that flips the order now. We get to the top of the order with Coco Jaimes to hit here with 2 on, 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th. Is Marissa going to challenge this? Got the umpires to discuss it, whether it hit her or not, but that was pretty clear it hit her. See, it looked like it hit the elbow.
If you're Coach Young, again, you might as well ask. Hasn't used any of her challenges yet.
See. Right in there in that elbow. Maybe
I'm not sure if the pitch, just took the catcher and Rodriguez up. Doesn't look like they're going to go to video review.
Nope.
Number 12, Coco
So Coco Jaimez will hit here with 1 out, 2 on, 1 out. Near the bottom of the 7th. And that one is inside, nearly hit Jaimez for ball 1. There's so much movement in pitches these days. Sometimes it's hard to tell what hits and what doesn't hit somebody.
That's why the video review is so helpful. You sounded pretty confident there, though, like it was a definitive answer.
Well, I'm old.
I don't know.
I got old ears, or eyes, and ears. 1-1 the count. A swing there by Jaimez. 1-1 the count. Well, it's just the way everybody was reacting there, but who knows? Ball and a strike to Jaimez. Now, Coach Paul Malone's going to go with a pinch runner here, it looks like. Yep, going to pinch run for Vakun. Or maybe not. Had somebody come out, then come out. Let's see. Who's coming out of the dugout here? Yep, there we go. It's going to be Zoe Calvez to re-enter. Actually, that's what that is. Because Vakun pinch hit for Calvez. Calvez a great runner, so that makes sense to bring her back in.
And you start asking the question, though, do you bring Samantha Ray back in to run the bases for Kendall Yarnell?
That's a great point.
Over at second base, Yarnell came in to do the pinch hit. Found her way on with a walk, but Samantha Ray is the one with the speed.
Fouled off there. Jaimez down in the count, a ball and 2 strikes. To the sophomore, Coco Jaimez. Knights trying to make a late rally here. Cassidy Curd on the 1-2. Jaimez hits a ball to left, but playable. As the catch is made for the out, as Terrell, who pinch hit in the last inning, stayed in defensively, makes the catch. And the Blue Devils are an out away from their first win of 2026.
Number 3, Aubrey Evans.
It'll be Aubrey Evans, up to her. The captain, who led the team at homers last year, will step in with 2 on, 2 out. First pitch from Curd to Evans is a strike. It's 0-1.
And kind of storybook at times with how the games tend to play out. Aubrey Evans, senior captain for UCF, getting an opportunity with the bat on her hands to change the game.
The 0-1. That's in the dirt. Ball 1. Been impressed with Kyrie Rodriguez, by the way she catches.
She's a fantastic athlete, fantastic presence behind the dish. She meshes well with the staff. And they just work well together. They trust her.
Well, she blocked that one, but that one went too far forward, and both runners advance. With Yarnell at third and Calvis at second. With a 2-1 count to Aubrey Evans. Now Marissa Young's going to make a defensive move here. Pretty quickly, looks like, as Burgess is going to come back into the game and play left field, taking over for Terrell. Interesting. I love it. Chess match pieces being moved here.
Well, strategic defensive moves. You're bringing Amaya Burgess back into the game, who obviously got the start today in left field. So probably the stronger defender, a little more comfortable in case there is a play at the plate. You've got to be able to sell out for it.
Right now the game is at the plate. 2-1 the count. And Evans fouls it off, and the Knights are down to their last strike. If Evans were to extend this, Izzy Mertez would get a chance to hit. Two and 2 the count. And Evans fouls it off again and battling. A senior from Apopka, Florida. Senior versus senior here.
And it feels like a lot that UCF is always within one swing away, and that's been consistent last season, consistent so far too, getting themselves in the position to win. Last year we saw several one-run games. The difference maker in a win-loss column for them.
Evans hits a ground ball to short. They'll throw to first in time, and the ball game is over, and the Duke Blue Devils take it 5-2 the final. Cassidy Curd gets the win, goes the distance, gives up just 2 runs on 3 hits. And the Duke Blue Devils salvage a split today. behind their ace, Cassidy Curd, who showed why she is the Blue Devils ace.
Cassidy Curd is so good in the circle, a lot of command. She can work outside of the zone. She can paint pitches in the zone, challenging hitters when she can get ahead. It's going to be the pitch management for her. She's worked hard on that changeup in the off season this past year, getting a lot of command of that pitch and a lot of confidence in it too, throwing it any count. Love to see her success out in the circle.
You look fine to me. Think she's ready to go. I think she's tired of talking about her health. She was magnificent. 7 strikeouts to get the victory. And for the night, they had the lead early. They'll take some lessons from here. Had some opportunities early and better days ahead.
A lot of signs of life from UCF. They came out, they attacked first, and I like the pressure that they put on this Duke offense, made them respond well, but UCF has been looking good. They look comfortable and like they're having a lot of fun out there on the field. Excited to see them come back tomorrow.
They'll be back tomorrow night against Maryland. We'll have it for you. Another 5 games here tomorrow on ESPN Plus on day 3 of the Black and Gold Classic. That'll do it for here from the complex. For Lucas Rustrand directing and producing Major Howell, as well to Cicely Webb, Alex Powers, my broadcast partner. I'm Eric Lopez saying so long from Orlando, where the Duke Blue Devils beat the UCF Knights 5-2. All games airing on the ESPN networks are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN. Good night from Orlando. We'll talk to you in the morning.